What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris, back again with another Call of Dragons video. We're gonna check out the brand new ripple effect rage buff coming to Call of Dragons. In the next few days, the game developers are gonna change the way rage works in Call of Dragons. This is going to create a ripple effect that's going to be both good and bad at the same time. In today's episode, we're gonna try and predict some of the new meta that will come due to the change in the way rage works in Call of Dragons. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe, leave some comments down below. Without wasting any more time, let's get this craziness going. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, it looks like the game developers have found a single way to fix most of the problems in Call of Dragons. And in doing so, they have created a problem for one troop type in Call of Dragons. And we're gonna check that out today. The first thing we're gonna do is go through the Spring Awakening update patch notes, because there is something that is eye-catching and we're gonna check it out. It is known as the disengagement rule improvements. It says, improved how rage is handled after leaving combat. Rage will no longer reset immediately after disengaging. This is the single buff that's going to change the way Call of Dragon works. It is both good and bad at the same time. I think it is 90% good and 10% bad. We're gonna check them out today. So what does this mean? It means when you're fighting your enemies, you won't need a lot of normal attacks to charge your rage bar. Especially when you fill it up, the enemy dies and you get out and you're going back into battle, you are gonna have some rage to work with, which means you're gonna need very little normal attack to destroy your enemies. So this has kind of fixed a lot of the problems in the game. One of them is going to be the warped problem. As you guys know, it is very difficult to use some of the DPS warpeds in the game because the enemies die too quick and then your rage bar depletes and then you have to recharge it again, which leaves no rooms for your warpeds to do their stuff in the open field. So this single rage buff has officially buffed warpeds in Call of Dragons, because when you kill one enemy, you're gonna retain some of your rage, and then when you target a different enemy, you're gonna need few normal attacks to fill up your rage. When your heroes cast their rage skill, you should be able to activate the rage damage of your pet. So this is the first buff that is going to happen due to this rage buff in Call of Dragons. The next topic we're going to have a look at is going to be the bad news in Call of Dragons. And let me show you guys by bringing some marches outside. It is going to be the infantry troop type. All I can say is rip to the infantry. I think we are witnessing the end of infantry in Call of Dragons. This rage buff is going to destroy so many infantry in the open field PvP. So let me do this. Let me put this guy on the side. So by allowing people to keep their rage, they won't need a lot of normal attacks to hit infantry. So when the infantry is coming to the field, most players will be at 70% rage. As soon as the infantry gets close, it's going to be hit with multiple nuclear rage skill and it's going to die. So from the day the update comes into the game, you are going to be seeing less merits for all the infantry troop type in the game. So this update has buffed the way the game works, but it has nerfed the infantry merit to oblivion. And this is gonna suck for a lot of people in the game. We should get ready to see some crazy complaints from players in the next few days, especially the infantry main players. Now, as a range unit person, you're going to ignore Kuma and then target the other infantry instead. As soon as your rage bar is full, you transition back to the Kuma and then just hit it with nuclear rage skills and it is dead. Now this rage buff is not going to affect infantry in their fighting style, because most of the time infantry is being hit by a normal attack, so they don't really care about the way their rage works. So this rage buff doesn't really buff infantry. It just nerfs them in a way that it allows enemy to use less normal attack to hit infantry with rage skill. And for those of you who don't know, up to now, when you hit someone with a rage skill, it does not get counter attacked. So there is no counter attack on the rage skill. And if you have like 5 heroes, you hit like 10 rage skills, you're not gonna get any counter attack. So this is going to really nerf infantry in Call of Dragons. I feel bad for the infantry, man. Man, this is gonna be crazy on the field. All those rage bar. I don't know how long it's gonna take for you to keep the rage, but we're gonna see when the update comes out. So this is the bad news with this brand new update. It is the only bad news that I see so far. However, this rage buff is going to fix 90% of the problem in the game. I think it is good. Gonna bring out some infantry again. I am one of the people who have started complaining about this new buff. So I feel like the devs really need to buff the Berserker charge for the infantry. Make it so that the infantry can do more counter attack when they charge towards the enemy. For example, if I target this Darkling, take a look, all the infantry are charging, right? Devs should make it so that the infantry can launch maybe double counter attack, or the infantry should launch 100% counter attack while charging with the Berserker charge. Because if we go to the game, there is something done to the cavalry if you haven't seen it yet. So in this case, we're going to use the eagles. When I click on this thing and we go over here, you can see that while rushing, a legion cannot be intercepted and takes 80% less damage, but it cannot launch counter attacks. How about you make it so that for the infantry, while they do the Berserker charge, they maybe do 100% counter attack damage, or 150 or 200, give or take, because this new rage buff is going to nerf infantry big time. I don't know how the infantry is gonna get out of it. Guys, we're gonna see a lot of complaints in the next few weeks. Up next, we're gonna discuss all the good stuff that's coming your way from this rage buff. Let's begin with the magic troop type. Gonna bring out a few magic heroes just to show you guys. Okay, I think Yun Ming and Gromora is gonna go another level. This March is going to be crazy with this new rage buff. Why? Because there is only one person in this lineup who can cast a rage skill, which means when they deplete the rage, they're gonna be charging it very, very fast. And on top of that, when they finish fighting, they are gonna have some rage. So Gromora is always going to be hitting her nuclear 2000 rage skill damage factor. It is going to be insane. Another hero that I feel is going to be buffed a lot is going to be Lilia. Lilia has a crazy rage skill with the scorching effect. It is absolutely disgusting. 1200 damage to 3 targets, and then you got the AoE scorching. When you get this skill to level 5, you introduce AoE scorching, which is just nuts. So expect to see a buff in the performance of Lilia. Another March that I see doing well for the open field is going to be this one right here with the mages. You're gonna have Magrat and Thunderlin. Where is Thunderlin? Okay, so here we have Magrat and Thunderlin. Only one person in this lineup is casting a rage skill. This is by using Celestials, by the way. So this one is gonna be, I think, as strong as Yun Ming. Not as strong. Yun Ming is just in a different league. But this one is gonna be very close. With this brand new update, it's going to be crazy. Bertrand and Tohar, I don't really see it so much. But Lilia, Gromara, and then Thunderlin and Magrat, these are going to be the best mages on the field with this new update. To be honest, I think we might be seeing the end of the Sun Lizard in Call of Dragons. We might not need it anymore because this update is going to change everything. These DPS pets are just gonna be crazy. Now that you can retain your rage and just cast your pet skills, man, this is gonna be nuts. I think that the Sun Lizards are going to suffer a little bit, but not so much. But we're gonna have to wait and see. So these are my predictions for the mages. When the update comes out, things are going to change. Even the Ice Lizard might perform well. So we're going to see if that's going to be the case. Up next, we're going to have a look if this brand new rage buff is going to buff archers in Call of Dragons. And the simple answer is yes. First of all, the game developers have decided to buff both G5 and G4 archers. They are now very, very good in open field PvP. Especially Ruby, she got the best buff. It's just crazy. And when she combines with Kaelen, things are gonna be bad for all the enemies. Even Sybil and Falgrim are gonna be kicking butt and taking names. Now we got 3 archers in this lineup who can pull like 150k merit reports in open field PvP. So things are going to be very, very interesting to see in the next few weeks. Now when it comes to archers, archers have the ability to gain a lot of rage when they fight in the open field PvP. And with this new rage buff update, it is going to be very, very interesting. First of all, if you have a good coordinated blink play with your alliance, you are going to be doing so much damage on the field, especially if you know how to play with the archers. And when we go to the archer talent tree, you guys are going to see this skill right here. Increases rage accumulation speed by 5% when your legion's unit count is over 50%. So by retaining your rage bar, you should be able to like gain more rage with less normal attack by having this buff, which means killing infantry is going to be so much fun. Rip infantry, man. They are gonna get destroyed this upcoming season. So this is what I think of the archers. The war pets are also gonna be buffed because of this new buff in the game. You can retain some of your rage. You lose it a lot, so it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen to all the enemies on the field. I feel like the Elk Riders are the ones who are going to benefit a lot from this new upcoming buff. And let me show you guys. Elk Riders have the Wild Barrage, okay? Now that they have Wild Barrage, they are gonna get like a lot of rage when they trigger that thing against the enemies. And since you don't lose your rage a lot, you should be very, very good at destroying the enemy by just kiting. You go attack the enemy, you run away, you attack the enemy, you run away, you create rage, you hit them with your rage skill, you run. Man, these Elk Riders are gonna be hunting infantry a lot. Let me see if I can do it. One shot, time to run, charge the rage bar. Go again, one shot, time to run. One shot. When they get close, you run away. Guys, check this out. I'm hitting this infantry with a lot of skill damage before it even touches me. It's gonna die. Oh man, people are going to suffer at the hands of Elk Riders with this new buff. And the rage bar is not gonna deplete real fast. You go in and out, you target them, you hit them with the Wild Barrage, and things are gonna be crazy. It's gonna be nuts. I cannot wait to try this out. Now we run. We run. We hit it again. We go away. We're just building our rage and just keep going like that until you destroy everything in front of you. So these Elk Riders are going to be awesome to play with. This is one of the buffs that we're gonna see in the game as well. It's gonna do so good for the Elk Riders. I cannot wait to try it out against some enemies on the field. I'm not entirely sure if this buff is going to affect the melee cavalry. So let me see. We go multi-create. I got preset number 9. Okay, so I'm going to bring out my melee cavalry on the field. The only place I see these guys suffering is if the range units already have lots of rage, just waiting for the melee cavalry to come into combat. But these guys are also very, very fast. And you know, they don't take damage when they are charging, right? They take minus 80% less damage. So I don't think that's going to affect them a lot, especially when they are charging towards the enemy. So I don't think this buff is going to really nerf melee cavalry. They are going to be the same. And I don't think this buff is also going to buff melee cavalry. They already have unyielding rush. So I don't know, maybe if they're switching from one infantry to the next, they can carry over the rage skill from one infantry and use it on the next one. For example, you hit a Madeline or you hit a Garwood, you charge your rage skill, and then you leave and you go and attack a Kuma, and then deplete the Kuma with the hero skill damage, and then you get out, you go back and you hit the Madeline again, you charge your rage skill, then you go back and you smash the Kuma with all the rage skill that you have charged. So this is, I think this is gonna be good. Rip infantry, man. Infantry are gonna be destroyed in this upcoming update. I still feel like this update is the best thing they have done in the game by allowing people to keep the rage for quite some time. It has fixed most of the problem in the game. The only problem that the devs need to work with now is going to be infantry. If they can fix the way infantry works with this update, then man, they have fixed the problem. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is everything that I wanted to show you guys today. We are going to be seeing a lot of meta coming to Call of Dragons. Let me see if I can do one thing right here. We go multi-create. Okay, there is one meta with the Goresh and the Agnar. Let me bring it out. Goresh, where you at? Where you at? Why are you hiding? Okay, so we got Goresh and Agnar, which is a very good march. And then we have the other one, which is Naya and this guy right here. So this is another cavalry march that is used on the field to do a lot of counterattack damage. All I can say is I don't think these two marches are going to be good anymore because of this rage retention. When you come to the field, you're going to get hit with lots of hero skill damage. You won't be able to utilize the counterattack. So things are going to be crazy. This is everything that I have to say about this brand new update in Call of Dragons. We got a lot coming in the next few days. So yeah, we shall see. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe, leave some comments down below. Until then, talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.